Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a match between Last and Shuttle here on Circuit Breakers. Bottom left, it is our yellow Protoss. It is Shuttle, under his Smurf name, Eyewater, which means Corian. And in the top right, we've got our brown Terran. It is Last. So Last versus Shuttle here on Circuit Breakers. A PvT matchup for the ages. I figured it had been a while since I cast a PvT, and I apologize to all the PvT fans out there. I don't know. I kind of like ZVT and PvZ more, but that is no excuse for not casting a PvT for y'all. Alright, so, what are we going to see today? A lot of tanks, a lot of vultures, a lot of dragoons and zealots and storm, maybe some reaver drops, and Goliaths, and maybe carriers. Hey. So should be an excellent time here today on the Circuit Breakers map. Supply depot coming up so that your SCVs are aligned while mining from the Vespene Geyser here. And let's see if anybody wants to go Gateway Expand or Barracks Expand. It's a giant 4-player map, so it's not as risky as other maps that we see in the ladder pool. But, you know, just to be safe, Cybercore or Factory before Expand. We'll have to see if somebody wants to take a risk here today. Hit that like button if you're excited for a PvT featuring these two legends of the game. This is from 2015, which is 7 years ago now. 7 years, you guys. Do you believe it's 7 years? Could I be lying to you? Yes. I absolutely could be lying to you, but I'm not. I'm not. It's not happening. It's that long. I mean, it's early in 2022, so like if something happened in December 2015, then it's not quite 7 years ago now, but it's close. There's your Cybercore timing. There's the expand. All right, so Terrans can do this a little bit easier because you can throw up a bunker and keep Dragoons out, at least until Singularity Charge pops up, but then you should have a factory anyway. So yeah, I like it. I like it from Last. His well-known Smurf name, Melverk. I forgot to mention that. We've had so many Last games on this channel under Melverk's name. He's played so much. Like, so much under this name. It's weird, right? I mean, the number of times I've cast a game with Last where his name is actually Last is like 4 out of the so many games I have cast under the Melverk pseudonym here. Smurf name. Interesting. Second barracks coming up at the... Wait. Did he go CC first? I just realized he went CC first. Wow. Okay. My brain was like, there's just not. That's not an option. It refused to believe that was an option. But by golly, it certainly was an option. So this is interesting. We're gonna have a lot of dragoons showing up here, and the bunker's not done yet, or the barracks isn't done yet, and the bunker hasn't started yet. But now it has, because instantly starting that is important in this build. Having the bunker up is ginormous. Look at that Singularity Charge already on the way. Duh. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to get here. It's just going to be Dragoons attacking a bunker for a while, and how soon the factory gets up here depends on how soon we get to 100 gas, which, by golly, we're there. So factory timing, you there. Build us a factory. Do it. Yes, excellent. Okay, so factory on the way. And have you not... Wow. Shuttle hasn't scouted. Huh. I don't know where you're going, man. I think he scouted this with a probe and saw there wasn't any... Dude, what is this? Shuttle, what are you doing? Why are you scouting this base? You sent a probe to scout that. There's nothing there. Oh, he's scouting last of all the potential locations. That buys him some time to get up exactly the 2 Marines that he wants. An engineering bay is coming in case it's a DT rush, because he has no information at all what Shuttle is working on whatsoever. Second factory coming up before the first one is complete. Loving that from Last. His APM's around 500, which is crazy. Can you sustain 500 APM at 4.5 minutes? I don't know. I can if I'm spamming, but like, it's hard to spam and play effectively, which is what makes the best players the best ones, is they can pull that off. But yeah, here we go. Dragoon, extra range. Oh, don't take the Marine bullets. Wow, okay. It's like, where's the stupid distance I need to be at so I can hit this without getting shot in the face? But production tab says nothing. Nothing out of this factory. Oh, machine shopping first. Cool. machine shopping, getting siege mode, and then building a tank. All right, so there's your tank. I mean, yes, obviously, vultures themselves are bad at this unless they get spider mines out. So researching siege mode is going to make a lot of sense here if you're making a tank later or immediately. This looks like a third base. Yep, there you go. From Shuttle coming up in about 5 minutes. You do want to out-expand the Terran player, especially if it's last. You really want to out-expand him. I mean, it's not like he's Flash or anything, but he's an elite Terran player nevertheless, and he will be very scary. But Shuttle is excellent. Shuttle is right up there with one of the best Protoss players of all time as well. So that's why I like this matchup. These two players get me amped for a matchup that maybe isn't my favorite, but that's okay. That's fine. Now, not every matchup can be my favorite matchup. Siege tank here. He's just waiting for siege mode to finish. And then, bam, shot up, pull back. Shot up, pull back. Shot up, pull back. Look at this tank positioning. Oh, man, it could hit all of those Dragoons from this one. Look at, he had it there too early. He didn't have to hunt around to see where that position was. He just knew. On this map, he built a missile turret here. He built a tank right in this position behind it. Bam, you can hit any Dragoons that are attacking your bunker. Genius. Just well prepared. Has played a million games of StarCraft, and it shows. Anyway, additional gateways coming in here from the Protoss, building some observers for scouting purposes, and because spider mines are getting researched. Because, of course, spider mines are getting researched. It's good. Good upgrade is spider mines. But you're a Terran player, you know that. And you're a Zerg player, and you're a Protoss player, and you know how good spider mines are. So third CC on the way here from last, loving that from him. If you can keep up with the base count of a Protoss and they don't shut you down, they're going to have a really bad time. So Vulture's moving out, which I say this in every TVP, but like, it needs to be said. As a Terran, it's really tempting to sit back on two bases and just make a bunch of siege tanks and Vultures and move out and win. But like, being active with Vultures is a great way to win this matchup that you may be struggling with, right? So make the Vultures, don't have them sit in your base. Run around. Try to kill individual probes. Throw down spider mines in places. Hit different bases at different times. Make the Protoss worry about you. And that, just do something with your APM, because if you're sitting in your base, you don't need much APM. You can probably pay faster than, 50, which is really all you need to just sit back, make tanks, turrets, and Vultures, right? It's not a big deal. But love the third base timing here from him. And, I mean, get a third base, too. If you're planning on just two basing against a Protoss and trying to beat them these days, 3 is really just better. It lets you get your army up faster. It lets you get things like upgrades more quickly. Really, really good. Yep, Spider-Man's getting laid down at potential fourth base locations because he knows the third exists. Because he sent his Vultures out. He didn't have to burn a scan on that either. He wants to save scans for things like DTs, potentially, or scanning to see when the heck the carrier transition is coming. Because, hey, look, the carrier transition's coming here at 8 minutes. There we go. Yep. Fleet Beacon. Stargate. Oh, yeah. This is carriers at 8.5 minutes. That's what's kind of fun about playing Protoss in this matchup is you can go carriers whenever. You can start carriers. You can transition into carriers after 5 minutes, after 8 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 12 minutes. Like, there's no time where you're not allowed to go carriers against Terran. And we'll see how long it takes Last to figure this out. Should we watch Last for a minute? Just watch his view just for a bit? Because we know what Shuttle's doing, right? He's making carriers. So he scans the front. He doesn't see anything indicating carriers. Although the kind of a smaller gateway army here, but he sees more zealots coming in, so that might assuage his fears. But he is going Charon boost, and he's throwing up Goliaths now. So whether that's just preparing for Arbiters or not, it's hard to tell. It's hard to read Last's mind at this moment. But I like this. He's got Vultures here, Spider-Mine here, Spider-Mine here, Spider-Mine here, Spider-Mine here. He's just covering. Except this one at the 6 o'clock is not Spider-Mine, so that's not great. Also, oh, are you kidding me? Has to burn a second scan on killing that Observer. Super annoying. If he had Charon boost, that wouldn't be an issue. Charge on the way. He's not making... Okay, yeah. He doesn't know it's carriers at this point. He doesn't. He's not making any more Goliaths. He just made a couple to deal with Observers and deal with Arbiters. That's just the minimum you need for anti-air against a more traditional gateway, Zealot Dragoon. High Templar-ish style army, right? Oh, he's making some more Goliaths. He's... Okay, is he smelling it? And there... No! What? He doesn't get it! He doesn't see! Oh, how does he scan? Oh, at least he scanned the 4th at least. He knows this is coming up now. That's good. Oh my gosh, that scan totally missed. It missed the fleet beacon. It missed the extra stargates. Well, the first 2 stargates entirely. He sees the number of gateways. This is... no, make it 4 Goliaths at a time. What is he reading here? What does he see that I don't see? I mean, that's part of what makes him a better player than anyone who's watching this, is his ability to read what's happening without actually seeing what's happening. It's a hard skill to develop. It really is. See, he's got Charon boost now that Observer's easily dead. Ta-da! Upgrades matter. Matter a lot. Science facility finishing up here, going for that EMP. And does end up seeing a bit of a push out here from ground units. Making tanks, vultures. So here's the trick, right? Shuttle might just be going entirely carriers today. He could also totally be going for carriers and dragoons and zealots. And in that case, Mass Goliath, it could get some help from siege tanks and vultures. It's not a terrible thing. Throwing up additional factories. Yes. Tank upgrades. I don't know, man. Production tab tells me he doesn't know it's carriers that are being pumped out nonstop here from Shuttle. It's just he doesn't know. Spider-Man connects. Yes. Last says. Pumps his fist. Dragoon. There's more Dragoons here than we thought. They say, get on out of here. Run. They see the probe coming in to take a 5th base down that way, which is amazing. The Spider-Mines are getting cleared out. More and more carriers. Production tab says vultures, man. But he has to have vultures because this is a Zealot Dragoon army that's coming to kill him. As far as he knows, that's all it is. He's got more Goliaths than you traditionally have if you're just worried about Arbiters and Observers. So, like, part of me says, what did he just scan now? Nothing important, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what that scan was. But he's throwing up 4 Goliaths at a time. Now, he's got to know. This is a weird thing to try and read his mind about. But yeah, vultures are like, we can take down 1 cannon. They're just getting in a position to take out a few of these probes. Don't mind us. Zealots coming in. Don't make us laugh. We will kill your zealot. Okay, never mind. It's a lot of zealots. And they don't have any upgrades yet. Oh, that's key. That is key. If he... Oh, was that what... Oh, now the carriers are here. Okay. So now the carriers are here. That's it. That's it. He must have checked the upgrades on the Dragoons and Zealots, saw there weren't any, and said, carriers are getting the upgrades then. I bet that's what it was. I bet that's what it was. So, all right. Carriers have arrived. They got +1 attack. They're working on +2. I mean, in fairness, Shuttle is going for +2 ground weapons, or +1 ground weapons, rather. So, he's going hybrid-y here. And this is where you use the high ground. You can't exactly see the carrier bodies as much as you want to. You have to scan to see that high ground position. Yeah, I mean, but this is PvT, kind of in a nutshell if carriers are involved. How's the carrier micro? Can you handle dealing with the carriers under control of a master like Shuttle is? And last definitely can. That is so many turrets. Okay, yeah, this was... He sniffed out the carrier stuff before he saw his first carrier, that's for sure. For sure. EMP coming in. Good. Good against carriers. Making 7 Goliaths at a time, which is new. And, dude, look at this. My gosh, Shuttle. Shuttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base coming up top left. Summer home. Away from home, right? We see that in every PvT. There's a good chance I'm going to lose my main. Having a base far away from my main where there's a lot of production is crucial to winning a longer match against somebody as good as Last is. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Observer taken down with extreme prejudice. Getting some nice body hits off on these carriers. Nice, nice. Oh, that's why you bring in the Dragoon to escort the probe who's expanding down here. I gotta say, okay, but this is where things get tough. So it's looked really good for Shuttle to this point. He's on 8,000 bases. The Terran's on 4 though, which is a major problem, and this is us freeing up supply for more carriers. He's attacking into the tanks. He's trying to reduce the siege tank count, which was not something that he's really bothered to do at all in this game, which is possibly another reason that Last knew this was carriers. If your opponent's shuttle is not attempting to jump on top of your tanks and kill them at any point in the first 10 minutes, it's probably because he doesn't care about your tanks, because he's making carriers. That said, this is a lot. This is a lot of siege tanks. And this base is dead. So this is why you need a lot of bases against Terran, is one, to make more stuff, to be, you know, less cost efficient against the Terran, but also be able to win anyway because you just have more things, and also because your bases are gonna die. This is the reality of your bases are just gonna die. Carriers come in from an angle where the Goliaths aren't really covering. And sure, some tanks are dying here, really good at killing bases, but we're not gonna rebuild them at all. We're in fact just making more Goliaths here, no big deal. Top left base, a bit under attack here. I mean, by a bit under attack. Severely under attack by a bunch of siege tanks. Carriers have to save this. The rest of the ground army from Shuttle coming up to the middle of the map, they're going to run smack dab into a pretty strong mech army with +2 attack and +1 armor. And these dudes have a +1 attack, and that's it. So, yeah, this is problematic. So the tanks know the carriers are coming. They're going to siege up, try to get as many hits off on this Nexus as Terranly possible. And the answer is 1 and like 2, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this army's in a lot of trouble. Got some storms off, right? But then the Archon morphing is not happening at all. They tried their best. Yeah, the hits on the Nexus take it all the way down to about 20 shields, but otherwise could have been worse. Coming down bottom left here, Goliaths. Siege tanks sieging up. Firing away. Probes evacuating from the 6 o'clock base to Last. Doing it right. Showing up with big, scary mech armies to completely obliterate Protoss bases. If you're a Terran, you got to do this because, like I said, they'll just have more money than you, and they'll overwhelm you. They'll zerg you with more units than you can make. Even if you are cost efficient, if you just get zerged, you can lose. Okay, 6 o'clock goes down. The 9 o'clock Nexus is already warping back in, so, I mean, this is the cockroach thing. Both Zerg and Protoss do it against Terran. Yeah, you're going to lose a base, but as soon as they're gone, we'll just rebuild it. Because Mech's not fast. Mech can't completely sweep across the map in 4 seconds, right? Carriers aren't really that fast either, I guess, but they're here. Oh, engagements. That's some big body hits for sure. And then really just trying to whittle down this tank count, because that's what's causing his stuff to die mostly. Good storm on the tank, soften them up so the carriers can finish them off. Love it, love it. Siege tanks too. Very good in this situation. Only a +1 attack, but you know, Zealots were made to deal with siege tanks traditionally. That is one of the things they were designed for. Although, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if the designers of Brood War sat down and said, one of the things that Protoss will have to deal with siege tanks are their tier 1 units, the Zealot, right? You think that went through their minds? Maybe. Maybe it did. Maybe they saw that coming. But I think a lot of StarCraft and how it worked out eventually is not something they intended. I don't think they saw it becoming like the first huge esport. By any stretch, High Templar gets a Storm off before it dies. That's a sign of an elite Protoss, man. A lower Protoss would have taken that initial hit, died, and not gotten the Storm off, but Shuttle knew. Shuttle knew what was happening and answered it quickly. Dude, Last is expanding again, and bottom right, too. This is fantastic. Last has a ginormous mineral bank. He can make all of the Vultures in the world, but he only has 200 gas, which is not going to help him build a lot of Goliaths, which is kind of what he needs here. So yeah, High Templar, getting air armor, but this isn't 12 carriers, this is 6. This is hybrid play, which is exactly what Last knew and what Last responded to. By not making mass Goliaths, he's got some tanks in here as well. Although mass Goliath with upgrades does pretty well against Zealots, especially if you have a 3-2 upgrade advantage over these only +2 attack Zealots and Dragoons. They're not very tanky at all versus these +3 mech units. Goliath ground damage is not anything to laugh about. It's not like Wraith ground damage where it's bad. Goliath air damage is amazing, and Goliath ground damage is also very good. So good unit, the Goliath is, obviously. We see them in every matchup, pretty much. Not as much in TVT, I suppose, unless maybe somebody's going for, like, a lot of battle cruiser. I keep thinking this is a drop of some kind. It's just 2 spider mines, everyone. Don't worry about it. And yeah, the Goliaths, they're just killing as many interceptors as they can right now. Tanks trying to finish off that Nexus. There's 4 of them. And with that +3, they're taking off big chunks. And this is a sacked base. He knows he can't save it, so he's going to come over here to the 3 o'clock base of last and wipe that one out. Additionally, some Goliath tank stuff. Ooh, DT's up. DT also very dead. All right, fairly well, DT. Yeah, evacuate the SCVs, get the command center floated off somewhere. Oh! Oh! Wait, go finish it! Finish the Nexus! Just send the Goliaths down to tickle it a little. Are you serious right now? Last, no. You think you killed this, but you didn't. But you didn't. All right, so top left, they decided to accidentally leave the 9 o'clock base in peace. Top left base now under attack by a whole bunch of siege tanks and everything else. And then ground army from Shuttle's like, let's do a counterattack. Why not? He's not interested in really defending bases today, except with carriers, I suppose. And then this army is just coming in. There's a bunker to fall back to, but there's nobody inside the bunker, obviously. This is pretty strong stuff. It's only +2. But, you know, Dragoons, Zealots doing a ton of damage nevertheless. Top left base for Shuttle. Gonna die, but guess what? He's already reestablished his 6 o'clock and his 9 o'clock's alive against all reason. Yeah, this is great. Shuttle doing very, very well. He's up 170 to 140 supply. And it looks like Last is going to be able to hold this off with the reinforcements. Defender's advantage kicks in. Also, these Goliaths came from somewhere. I don't know where. These guys maybe actually shoot guys. There you go. Killing interceptors, getting shots off. Again, on the bodies of the carriers is important. But my gosh, I mean, they've all taken some hits, but none of them have died. I don't think any carriers have died today because Shuttle's micro is insanely good. Defensive matrix up on that siege tank. Yeah, siege tanks back here just wailing away on Dragoons while Goliaths absorb a lot of the hits. It's such a great setup. Crossing this is going to be really hard for Shuttle. He recognizes that. And he backs the heck on out. All right, carriers continuing just to have a great day. 14 kills, 9 kills, 8 kills, 5 kills, and 5 kills. So they haven't done a ton of deathing, but overall they've been effective, that's for sure. More DTs coming in, more High Templar, more Dragoons. 12 o'clock base from last running. He's going to reestablish the 3 o'clock. Very nicely done. Bring the SCVs down that he saved from that initial engagement. 55 to 57 total workers. And top left base getting reestablished by Shuttle too. I mean, these players, they take base losses and they just don't care. I guess bottom right's under attack by a Zealot that does have 5 kills. So, I mean, solid. This SCV coming into a total war zone. This guy getting dragged out, but no, Shuttle says, stay in. Kill SCVs that let you kill them. No, this SCV says, run! Rocket packs engage. We are just about as fast as the Zealot with the legs upgrade. That's good. Run! No! Run! Get out of there! No! Doesn't get out of there. No! Last will avenge his dead SCV, I believe. I believe in him. God, this is good. This is a really, really good match. I'm enjoying it immensely, and I hope you are too. Hit that like button, by the way, if you are. Also, if you haven't, consider pressing the join button down below the cast. If you're on an iPhone, you don't have a join button. And if you're on like a Roku or an Xbox or a PlayStation watching YouTube, you don't have it either. So if you want to support me on YouTube, which is a platform you trust because you're here anyway, then and you don't have the join button, recommend getting an Android phone, maybe from a significant other or a friend, signing into YouTube that way and doing it, or just going to a web browser and doing it. Like, I'm pretty sure even if you're on a Mac, if you're using a web browser, the join button exists at youtube.com. So yeah, anyway, just an option. I know some people in the last Sunday stream were like, oh, I just thought I wanted to join you, I couldn't. I was on an Xbox. I didn't know that was a problem. Apparently it is. We learned something that day. All right, man, so Shuttle's up 200 to 180 supply. This is an insane game. I mean, look, PvT games between these players of this caliber are always pretty insane. 2-1 upgrades here with the shield upgrade for the Protoss. I'm really surprised by that. I know it's shared by things like carriers and ground units and buildings alike, but I mean, armor seems like a better choice in general for these Protoss players against Terran. But hey, shields. Not going to tell Shuttle how to play this. way billion times better at this game than I am. Sniping High Templar is good. Oh, why are you shooting a Dragoon? High Templar does die, but a Dragoon dies too. Or doesn't die, but takes some shots to the face. Last is like, I thought I killed this base. There we go. Back to finish what he started. Carrier sitting back. Is that a snipe on a science vessel? I think that's what that was. That's pretty good. Sniping a science vessel from distance with carriers. Solid, solid move for sure. Making another science vessel because DTs are a concern in this match. We've already killed a couple of them, says Last. They might come back for more. Also, killing these probes would be pretty nice too, but whatever. Last is not super interested in that sort of thing. So I don't know. Last is on 2 mining bases. Shuttle's on kind of 2-ish mining bases. Reestablishing this 9 o'clock seems like it should be a pretty big priority. Yeah, both players maxed out. Both players have banks. Shuttle just has a much bigger gas bank than the Last does by a magnitude of 10, it looks like just about. Yeah, high ground tanks. Nah, not something Shuttle's interested in engaging with, really. Little Spider Mine, Vulture harass play coming down this left side. They could snipe some of these probes if they came down this direction instead of fruitlessly shooting at a pylon. I don't know what that's all about, honestly. The carriers are coming down to deal with it if they're just going to sit here and be dum-dums. And it seems like they're going to be dum-dums. So Shuttle says, I'm going to take the bottom right base. And this is key. I think this is key to this match. Can Shuttle take the bottom right bases? Two bases down here, extremely important. If he can take them, then I think he wins. If Last prevents him from taking them, I think Last wins. So that's what it's going to come down to. Top left base getting snuck up on again by a bunch of 3-3 siege tanks. Handful of Dragoons are like, we got this. No, we don't got this. Storm does, though, kind of. Not as much as they want it to. Another big engagement that Shuttle doesn't want to directly engage in because that's death. I mean, this has been some of the most economical carrier play I've ever seen. So he got 16 kills on that one carrier. Oh, no! Got surrounded. Oh, I'm going to say that and he's going to lose a carrier. I caster cursed it. And look at this. More High Templar, more Dragoons. Totally saved the top left. That would have been disastrous for Shuttle. Oh, no! Another carrier down! Oh, no! These carriers come from the bottom side. They come from the top side. Or the Goliaths do. The carriers trying to come. Did he just lose like 5 carriers in the blink of an eye? I want to say that he did. That's not good. Okay, I'm not going to say carrier count necessarily matters. It's base count. That really matters more than anything else. Archon in production here from Shuttle. Yeah, I mean, this bottom right is in a lot of trouble. My prediction maybe coming to pass here. Some idle probes going down. I'm not sure how much Shuttle cares about having a lot of probes, but probably wants more than 30, I would guess. Yeah, this bottom right base is in a severe amount of trouble as Last just does terrible pathing up the ramp. That's how stupid units are in Brood War, but especially bigger, clunkier things like Dragoons and Siege Tanks and Goliaths. Zerglings can do pretty well with it. Zealots, too, it turns out. Are you letting this go? Yeah, he's like, we gotta come to the middle. We must deal with the incoming Protoss threat. Shove him out of our side of the map. That's exactly what happens here. And then he goes back down to kill the bottom right base. That gives enough time for these High Templar to get some energy, though. So this one has enough for one storm. These two will have enough for a storm by the time the army shows up to try to deal with them. These vultures and these Goliaths. Oh, they got a High Templar, though. Dude, snipe the High Templar. Snipe a High Templar. Oh, okay, smart. Archon that one. The other one doesn't get target fired, so he's cool. And yeah, bottom right base just dies. There are 2 storms here now. There were 3. But God, High Templar dying is so bad. And suddenly Last is up 184 to 130 supply. Ay caramba. This is absolutely a great PvT. Top left getting saved by Shuttle is huge, but my prediction was if the bottom right base dies, then that's gonna be it. And is that accurate? I guess we'll have to find out. As it looks like Shuttle's more interested in maybe just taking this minerals only base, or really shocked he hasn't taken this one yet. The natural for the top left spawn location. Seems like that's a no-brainer to try to take that before you try to take the ones farther away. He's already defended this base several times. You think he'd be able to handle this too. he's going to expand here with his last 400 minerals, which is not actually great. That he doesn't have enough money for these carriers, which is why I guess he is making more carriers. I was going to say why he's not making more carriers, but dude's making more carriers when he's kind of mineral starved. Not ideal. Just too much blue. Too many blue clouds. Too many tanks firing away. Vultures, just stop trying to take down. Look at him go. He's like, I'm going to kill these dragoons with my vultures if it's the last thing I do. Vulture bike pilots throwing out their traditional, yeah, what do you want? And we want you to run up into the Protoss army and die. If you could maybe take a couple shots at a High Templar while you're there, that'd be great. Or, you know, a Dragoon if you're so inclined. I guess we could let you choose. We just A-move you, right? And then it comes the priority of the player. This 9 o'clock base is going to die for the 4th time today. I mean, one of the times it didn't really die, so it's 3, but really it's kind of 4. I don't know. It's hard to count when a Terran shows up, brings a Nexus down to 20 HP, and then doesn't kill it. 182 to 137 supply. Shuttle is falling apart here. Maybe he should have made more carriers. Maybe he shouldn't have relied so heavily on Zealots and Dragoons that he didn't get great upgrades for either. Look at this. He's got +3 attack, and that's pretty normal, honestly. A lot of PVTs that I cast, the Protoss just bothers getting +3 attack, because armor against the siege tanks and the Goliaths just isn't as big of a deal. Spider Mines, too. Spend the money elsewhere. So, Nexus down. 9 o'clock base dies for like the 4th or 5th time today, depending on how you're counting. It's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure thing. But yeah, when the Terran just kind of has control of the map, he's expanding bottom right, too. I mean, this is humongous for him. So not only did he prevent Shuttle from taking bottom right, he is taking bottom right as the conqueror today. And I think, Terran fans, this is going to be a win for you. It's feeling very much like a very solid win for last here. Yeah, it's just too many siege tanks, too many Goliaths, too many vultures for your Zealots or your High Templar to do a whole lot. Yeah, it's another dead High Templar. Blah, tries to storm on some moving... Dude, High Templar snipe. High Templar snipe. And on the other... No, can't get that last one, but yes, he can. +3 vultures, man. They are mean. 181 to 115 supply now. And overall, I think that's it. We're done. Last fans, put your hands together for the performance that Last put on here today. He was not content to sit on 3 bases. He got 4 bases up. He got 5 bases up. He's now getting his 6th and 7th bases up, which if you could do that against a Terran, you're gonna be all right. There was no Arbiter play today from Shuttle here at all, which is interesting too. Yeah, some Zealot attack down the bottom right. Goliaths are trying to deal with that fairly well. Shuttle establishes this top left natural base, and immediately it dies. A little bit of carrier attack down the bottom right, too. That's why we have 3 turrets here, which doesn't seem like it's enough, but hey. It's not at all, but the last source of income for Shuttle is under fire. High Templar is getting sniped, 170 to 100 supply, making nothing but Goliaths in the production tab right now. Scanning high ground to fire up at the high ground. Sure, you're going to miss sometimes, but it's not that bad. And I think Shuttle getting squeezed up here, his income is not good. Did he cancel a Nexus? I think he just saw a bunch of money come in, and then he spent it all on Zealots and High Templar. It was like a few hundred minerals. But anyway, yeah, High Templar down. How many times have we seen High Templars die today? Way too many. Yeah, they can 2-shot tanks with their storms, but you got to get close enough to do it. You got to have the energy for it, and Templar are really good against Zerg. Not as good against Terran, it turns out. So, yep. Income, nothing for Shuttle. Is he going to long-distance mine down here? I don't know. Does he have one last gasp in him to try to take down this bottom right base of Last? Seems like so, yeah, but it's 100 more supply for the Terran than the Protoss right now. Absolutely bonkers great PvT, and Last comes out on top. I'm not going to give this an epic tag, because I think Last just outplayed Shuttle today. And bam, there's your GG. Shuttle has left the game. And Last is your winner in 34 minutes and 37 seconds. GG. Absolutely, man, just methodical, plodding, slow, strong. This is how Terra needs to be played in a TVP, right? This is it right here. Methodical, plodding, expanding beyond your 3-base count, taking bases, moving out, killing bases, re-killing bases without complaint, just because Protoss is cockroachy, and they will rebuild bases when you leave the dead corpse of the original one. You're going to lose some bases too. Shuttle's going to force you to lift off on one of your command centers a couple times. He's going to kill a couple command centers. He's going to push in this 12 o'clock. I actually kind of lost that one, but in fairness. Yeah, overall, he's going to be everywhere. He's going to kill a ton of your stuff, but, you know, at the end of the day, slow and steady wins the race, and exactly what happened to last here today. What an absolute boss man he is. All right, end of the day, 34 minutes and 37 seconds. 315,000 points for last, 298,000 for Shuttle. Did outproduce the Protoss, 630 to 540. That's kind of a big deal. Killed similar numbers, but outproduces the thing here. Structures raised way more by last, which makes sense based on the game that we watched. And then, yeah, if your resources spent are within... No, it's outspending. Dude, last outspent Shuttle in this game by 6,000 resources, or 600 resources anyway. It's very close, nevertheless. Anyway, beautiful. Just beautiful game from last. One of the more impressive TVP wins we've seen on this channel in some time, so hats off to him. And that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.